Hey folks, it's Joy. Welcome to my channel, and today I wanted to get on here and talk about ninth grade, starting high school, and what to do to set yourself up for success in the college application process. Now, normally I wouldn't even start telling folks to stress in ninth grade, but it really does start there. If you can get started on the right foot when you enter high school, I promise you, applying for college when you hit senior year will be a walk in the park. I swear, just easy because you've already done all the stuff it takes to get into really good schools. Before I get started, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and if you appreciate my content, go ahead and like the video. Alright, so I said we're going to be talking about what to do in ninth grade, and this really goes for if you're an incoming high school student listening, if you're a teacher, ninth grade teacher who's wanting to help their students out, get started on the right foot, if you're a counselor, this works for all of you, for your parent. So this is what I recommend. The first thing is the curriculum. I think most students get to choose their curriculum for high school, 8th grade, or the summer before they actually go to school. And so there still might be opportunity to fix your schedule, alter your schedule, think about your schedule, because you're only planning it for a year at a time. So ninth grade is not as critical as other parts of your high school journey. So as a ninth grader, again, I'll say think about curriculum. A really good college application is going to have a high degree of course rigor. Course rigor is how difficult your classes were, meaning take AP classes, take IB classes, take honors classes. A lot of high schools don't let ninth graders take AP classes, IB classes, but you can in 11th and 12th grade. So kind of get into that mindset. If you struggle with math, if you struggle at English, really do your best. Practice those concepts, because when you get to 11th and 12th grade year, you're gonna be able to want to take those AP, IB classes, do the dual credit college in the high school, running start, go take classes at the college, because that's really going to set you up for success with respect to the difficulty of your course schedule and how well you did compared to the student who only took general education classes. Then I would say start joining the extracurriculars, or find something that you're passionate about that you want to spend your time outside of school on. So if that means you want to join the robotics club, you like to play basketball, you're interested in JROTC, because having 4 years worth of one activity is miles above, in my consideration, when it comes to college applications, than having 5 or more activities that you only did for a year because you lost interest or you just wanted to pad your college application. So starting in ninth grade is important. If you've been a Girl Scout since you're 5 years old, Boy Scout, and you're going to earn your Eagle Scout Gold Award, that's all important stuff. If you want to run for Associated Student Body President and you want to, show 4 years of participating in the student body and advocating on behalf of your classmates, that's what we're looking for. So instead of striving for 5 to 10 activities that you did for a year apiece, start thinking about what you really are passionate about in ninth grade, and stick with that and see if you can't become the president or a part of the leadership in the activities that you participate in, because again, that's more bonus points. Duration, dedication, commitment, and leadership potential, all those things are. So another thing I would say is to find, in line with the extracurricular activities, do some community service. Whether you feel it's forced or something you're actually passionate about, every college is looking for their applicants to have participated in community service, because it really indicates that you're able to do something above yourself that you're not necessarily being paid for. So it has to be substantial, 100 plus hours, and that's easy to break up over 4 years. That's only 25 hours a year, each of your 4 years in high school. But if you can do much more than that, 300 plus hours. If I'm going to be for real, 300 plus hours of community service, and it can be something you like. If you're interested in, I'll use the robotics example again, volunteer to co-facilitate a robotics camp for elementary students at a local nonprofit you're interested in, or if set up a paint by numbers class for a group of elementary students if you're interested in painting. If you want to be a nurse or a doctor, volunteer for the summer at a clinic that provides medical care for people who otherwise can afford it. But your community service has to be substantial. Your service learning has to be substantial. You just have to be able to demonstrate that you're capable of doing something for people beyond yourself, and it's important. You can't skip it. Start in ninth grade, and that way you'll have, again, be able to show commitment, dedication to that community service, and you also have something else to write about in your personal statement, which brings me to my next point. If you don't like writing, I recommend practicing your writing as early as possible, which means in preparation for getting your personal statement done. That means in ninth grade, if you don't like writing, you need to start practicing then. If that means entering an essay contest, going to office hours with your English teachers afterwards, rewriting that assignment that you got to see on, practice your writing, because it really does matter when you're submitting personal statements. While writing quality isn't the biggest factor in personal statements, your ability to not only communicate your content, but communicate the ways in which you've been reflective, the ways in which you've grown, your passion, your interest is very important. You can't do that if you've never written before, and if you don't like writing, and if you're not good at it. So practice writing. It'll help you in the long run when it comes to writing your personal statements. And that might be the last thing I recommend. So think about your curriculum. Anticipate taking AP, IB, dual credit classes is the first thing. Join your extracurricular activities. Duration, commitment, dedication is important. Next thing I would say is get in those community service hours. Start in ninth grade. 300 plus hours, plus you have something to write about in your personal statements if they ask you to talk about a time that impacted your identity or your interests. And then I would say practice writing as the last thing, especially if you're not good at it. It'll take you far in the long run. You'll have opportunities to really reflect on your last 4 years and to practice doing something that you may not be good at. But those are my recommendations, and I will see you next time. Bye.